Manuel Castells theorized that the contemporary society we live in is a network society. He defines this concept as a society whose social structure is made up of networks powered by microelectronics-based information and communications technology, and theorizes that this is made possible by new information and communication technologies, which are both a necessary condition for and an inextractable dimension of that society. Castells also notes that the development of new technologies has allowed possibilities of social organization that did not exist before. These social organizations, in the context of this essay, refer to social media platforms. Social media platforms have been instrumental in changing the dynamics of social relationships. The main changes it has facilitated are the use of visual communication to manufacture a sense of presence and the ability to connect to a wider audience. Social media platforms allow users to facilitate many close relationships at once. The two most prominent ways it allows this is through the use of visual communication to manufacture perceived closeness and the speed at which communication can occur. Mikko Vilai and Matteo Stocchetti note that advances in visual communication technology offers new opportunities or strategies for the management of interpersonal communication. Visual communication methods are extremely effective at preserving the intensity of relationships. Vilai and Stocchetti also showed that visual communication affects the conceptualization of distance, presence, and absence, and that photography offers presence in absence. However, photography is not the only feature of social media platforms that allows for this effect. For example, I am part of a community group on Facebook called Moana Army, a group dedicated to the uplifting of women of all shapes and sizes. Through this group, I can gain advice, encouragement, and tips from women of varying ages, nationalities, and experiences, despite having never met any of them before. This would not be possible without social media. Therefore, social media platforms allow users to connect to a wider range of people. Social media also affects the speed with which we can communicate with multiple people. Vilai and Stocchetti also note that visual communication brings up the emotions of an imagined being together when combining the immediacy of the exchange between mobile phones and the instantaneousness of the photographic act. Presence is often defined as the sense or illusion of being there, and in this case describes the ability of social media to construct real-time conversations. However, there is an increasing discussion amongst academics and critics that argue this manufactured sense of closeness is detrimental to social connection. This idea is presented in a study conducted by Emily Drago, who found that the rapid expansion of technology is negatively affecting face-to-face communication, as people are relying on communicating with friends and family through technology and are neglecting to engage personally, uninhibited by phones and devices, even when actually in the presence of others. Additionally, this study concluded that a majority of individuals they surveyed felt the quality of their conversations degraded in the presence of technology, and nearly half of the respondents communicate more frequently with friends and family via technology than in person. Additionally, Teresa Senft demonstrates that social media architecture encourages users to monitor the activity of others, all in the name of social connection. This acknowledges how the nature of social media creates a sense of strange familiarity, a term which describes the familiarity that arises from exchanging private information with people from whom we were otherwise remote. For example, a brief scan of my personal Snapchat account shows I have accumulated approximately 200 friends over the 6 years I've used the app. However, of these friends, I would consider over half to be barely acquaintances, yet all of these people have access to my public story and at times gain intimate insight into my life. This creates a sense of false familiarity that reduces the sincerity of online interactions. Overall, the impact of social media platforms on the dynamics of social relationships is vast. Social media platforms have allowed users to increase the number of relationships and the intensity of these relationships via visual communication and the speed of communication. However, it can also be seen that overuse and increased reliance on social media communication reduces the quality of face-to-face contact and can lead to false sincerity.